Hey everyone, this is Sean with the smoking section. Welcome back to the smoking section. Today I'm going to be going over a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. This is not to offend anybody, this is not to um, throw jabs or punches at anybody, but I think that it's really important to kind of go over this topic. But before we wind up going through what I'm about to talk to, there's one little bit of business that I want to go over real quick, and I hope you don't mind. As you can see down here, please like and subscribe if you see these videos and you enjoy the content that I'm putting out. By liking the video, you're actually helping me out by, if somebody goes to search for one of these videos for the name of the cigar or for the topic that I'm going for, it actually puts me above other videos depending on some of the likes that I get. And of course, if you like what I'm putting out, then please subscribe to the channel and be a part of the smoking section community. It would really mean a lot, and we would love to have you here with us. We do live videos every Monday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a new cigar, and everybody gets involved, and it's a really, really great time. So please like and subscribe if you like these videos. But now, back to business. There you have it. Today's cigar talk is going to be about cigar lounge etiquette. I know that with COVID going on right now, there are a lot of cigar lounges that either aren't open or they're only open to half capacity. And a few of these tips and tricks will kind of help you enjoy your experience there a little bit more, and also kind of know how to either make new friends or show a lot of respect while you're there. Kind of like there's a bowling etiquette. You never throw the ball when somebody else on either side of you is throwing the ball. You kind of take turns. Even if you guys aren't bowling together, you still kind of show that respect to each lane, so that way it makes your time enjoyable, and it also makes the person next to you, their time enjoyable. So today we're going to be going over cigar lounge etiquette. So with that being said, let's bring up our very first point. So our first point is, don't be a conversation snatcher. We all love going into a cigar lounge, and everybody knows that if it's a very packed house, or at this point in time it's a half-packed house, you don't always have to go in and just pick up right where somebody's talking about something. If they're talking to their neighbor, their friend, whatever the case may be, try and be polite and just wait until there's either a break in the conversation, or introduce yourself first and then weigh in on it. A lot of times people will get offended if you wind up just sitting right down, lighting up your cigar, and then throwing your 2 cents in about it, because they really, A, didn't ask you your opinion about it, and B, you just kind of threw yourself into a conversation that you really don't know what vibe they were trying to go for. So definitely just take your time, enter with caution, and if you feel as though there's a safe point to try and throw your 2 cents into, then do it, but do it carefully. Don't make it sound like your point is the best point and just throw their ideas or opinions out of the way. Come in with respect and show them that you want to be a part of the conversation, but you're also willing to listen as well. Tip number 2, mine is better. We've all probably had that one person that came in, you're smoking a really good cigar, one that you really enjoy. Somebody sits down, or you sit down, and somebody asks what you're smoking. You tell them, I'm smoking a Perdomo Sungrown, the 10th anniversary, or the Alec Bradley Magic Toast. And their famous phrase is, mine is definitely better than that. It's a insert cigar name here. You definitely want to try and avoid saying that, or even being in that situation. If you wind up saying that to somebody, you could really offend somebody by making it sound like they don't have good taste, that only your taste is supreme. And we all have different tastes. There's different cigars that I truly enjoy that a lot of people don't. I'm a big fan of like the Fat Bottom Betty, the Leather Rose, different flavor tip cigars. And a lot of people will say like, those aren't real cigars. I don't get offended by that. Just say that it's not for you, because just because you think that your cigar is the best one out there and they should have been smoking that one, try coming at something more along the lines of, ooh, that's a really good one. Have you tried this one yet? It's the one that I'm smoking, and it's a really great cigar. I highly suggest next time you give it a try. You're here to just kind of have fun and enjoy the cigar, make a new friend, or just have a nice conversation with somebody. So don't go in automatically thinking that your cigar taste is better than anyone else's. give helpful hints, or just if they ask, say, oh, well, what are you smoking? Then you can insert it there. But never really go for that whole mine is better, my palate is more advanced than yours. It can come off really rude and it might mess up the whole time you're there. Point number 3, know your audience. One thing that I really can't stand is whenever I go into a cigar lounge, whether it be at the place that I work or if I'm visiting a new cigar lounge, I don't like it when a lot of people have to use foul language or use sexual different topics around me the whole time. I guess that it would be kind of sexist to say, yes, I am a guy. I do, work with my hands, and I do cuss at work. But there's a time and a place, and especially if I'm in a environment that I don't really know who's there, I'm not always going to throw the words around that I would normally use with the people that I know that they're okay with that. It's just basically showing respect to somebody. You don't always have to be the guy that has the dirtiest jokes or, makes sexual references to different things. Just be respectful. If somebody winds up cracking a joke like that, it's okay to laugh and it's okay to throw one back, but know your audience and kind of read the room to see how other people wound up taking that. Don't be the guy that everybody rolls their eyes at and wishes wasn't there, because at that point in time, next time you come back, that guy might not be there, and you might try and talk to somebody, whether it be a man or a female, and they'll remember that from the last time and just automatically have this really poor taste about you in their mind and not be able to enjoy the time that they spend with you. So just know your audience and always try to be respectful of the people around you. I think that it's really important to just kind of show some respect to anybody and everybody that are in the smoking lounge at that time, because not everybody wants to hear the loudest guy or cussing all day long. So just keep that in mind and try and keep it as clean as you can. Unless your audience calls for it, then just play it safe and just do what feels best. Now this will bring us right into our 4th point, talking on your phone. Everybody knows that cigar lounges are famous for guys that are either working from home or bringing clients in, and sometimes they have to take a business call. Not everybody in the smoking lounge wants to hear the trade that you made today, or the problem that's going on at work, or you and your wife fight, or you and your kids get into an argument. The best thing that you can do is, if you need to make a phone call, either step out of the smoking lounge and take it outside, or just try and, put it off until you're done. It's not a disrespectful thing for somebody to pick up their phone real quick and have a 2-minute conversation. But if you know that it's going to be a lengthy conversation, not everybody wants to hear everything that's going on in your work, in your life, unless you feel comfortable to talk about it. Some conversations might be too private that you really don't want to have that conversation strewn out all throughout the smoking lounge. So definitely take your phone and take your conversation outward, because you really might be ruining somebody else's time. Plus, just like anything, we all love to eavesdrop, and if something's going on, we want to know about it. Despite whether or not we really want to know about it, we're going to hear it anyway, and it's going to be something that's really going to maybe ruin your time or somebody else's. So just do the right thing. You wouldn't take a phone call in the middle of a movie, so don't do it in the middle of a smoking lounge either. But that's just a helpful tip if you do business at a smoking lounge, or if you wind up being one of those people who has to talk on the phone instead of texting. So we all have that one friend or person that's a regular that comes in and tells us how we should smoke a cigar, how to clip it, how to light it, how to inhale, how to do this, how to do that. You don't always have to be the person who knows everything about how to smoke a cigar. As everybody always says, there's multiple ways to skin a cat, and there's also multiple ways to enjoy a cigar. Just because somebody's not smoking a cigar the exact same way that you would smoke a cigar doesn't mean that they're doing it wrong. Unless you're at an event where, they're teaching you a different way to enjoy the cigar, whether it be with a pairing of chocolate or a whiskey or a bourbon, you don't have to come in and tell everybody your way of doing things, because there are multiple ways of doing things. So if you're going to try and give that suggestion to somebody, make sure that you do it and say, like, hey, have you ever tried it this way? I don't know. Not saying that your way is wrong, but have you ever tried it this way? It's a little bit easier. Or, hey, if you do try it this way, this is how I do it, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of this as well. Don't just come off strong and make everybody think that the way that you do it is the only way to do it, because you could offend a lot of people. And actually, some people have actually gotten up and left a smoking lounge from people doing this. And I just think that it's really disrespectful to make people feel as though what they're doing is inadequate, because we all enjoy cigars. That's the whole reason why we even go to a cigar lounge, to enjoy a cigar or try a new cigar or to possibly learn something, but in a respectful way, making it feel like this was asked for, not just told to do. So keep that in mind, and try and make things light about it. Don't always come off with that strong, you gotta do it this way. So hopefully that'll help too. So this one actually drives me up the wall. If you need to buy from the shop to smoke in the shop. A lot of smoking lounges, especially mine in particular at the Smoking Dog, has a rule that you can only smoke in the back lounge if you buy a cigar from the shop. That, to me, is plain and simple. If you're bringing a friend and you have a cigar that you want him to try, have him try it later. Don't bring your own, or buy one and then think that you can get your friend in with the cigar that you brought. Support your local cigar lounge. Support your local cigar shop. They don't need to let you smoke in the back. That's a luxury that they're allowing to happen. Especially since it's not a club. There is no cover charge when you go in there. And a lot of times you're going to find that that's really the only thing that they ask of you to do, is to buy a cigar there so you can smoke there. And 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be that big of a deal. A lot of us are only buying the cigars that are anywhere from $10 to $12. If you're not bringing $10 to $12 with you, then you shouldn't be there, And I don't mean to say that rudely, but support them, because they're trying to make a living off of this too. And if you just use that as your own personal playground, that you come in and bring your own stock, they're not going to be making any money off of you. And that's what it's all about, is enjoying cigars, but also the shop owners need to make their end as well. So if you keep bringing yours from home and buying one and letting your friends smoke your stock, that's just messing everything up as well. So just stick to that golden rule. Buy from the shop so you can smoke in the shop. And to me, that's just the best thing that you can do, and it really helps out the cigar lounge as well. So please keep that in mind. So this one's very important as well, and this one is for everybody, whether it be for the staff members of the cigar lounge or the customers in the cigar lounge. Let staff members do their job. There are a lot of regulars that come in that I enjoy talking to and that I enjoy talking cigars with and having a good time about it. But you got to remember, they're also working. You got to make sure that you allow them to do what they need to do, because they might not be the actual owners of the shop, they're just working there. And even the owners themselves, if they are with a customer that's new to the shop, don't just go up there and start talking to them when they're obviously trying to help out somebody new, or trying to answer a question that they're trying to figure out what to do with a new cigar smoker or what to suggest for them. That also goes into, if you are standing there waiting to talk to the owner or an employee and you hear a customer ask them a question, don't just jump into the conversation and suggest things that you would smoke. Let the actual staff members do their job, and then when that person goes back into the cigar lounge, then you can kind of use that as an opportunity to say, hey, I know that he suggested this, this, and this. If you ever get the chance, try this cigar at some point in time. It's one of my personal favorites. You never want to feel as though you're trying to outdo somebody, and you also don't want to get the worker or customer in a tizzy just for the sheer fact of you were trying to come in and do the right thing or do a nice thing, but at the wrong time. So just keep that in mind, and always try and make sure you keep friendship and business away from each other, because even though you're really friendly with that worker, they're under a watchful eye as well, and they can't just stop what they're doing to try and give you a conversation that they could have in the next 5 minutes once they get their job done. So just please be respectful of that, and always, once again, read the situation and do your best to either talk to that person when you can, or just wait until they come out to see you and say, hey, I saw that you were standing there. Please, what were you about to say? So just keep that in mind as well, okay? So this tip kind of goes with the last tip, but I thought that it was pretty okay to wind up separating these. So be aware of the line behind you. So this past Christmas Eve, I wound up working, and we had a pretty big line. People were coming in and trying to get last minute Christmas gifts. They had questions. Some people didn't know what to get for somebody they've never bought cigars for, this, that, and the other thing. You got to make sure that if you just purchase cigars, or if you know somebody at that counter, if you see that there's a line, or if you see that it's really pretty busy, once again, read the room. Don't sit there and have a conversation with somebody for 5 minutes talking about this, that, or the other thing if you know that there's a line. Especially if you are going to stay to smoke, that person you can catch again once it slows down a little bit. Oh, excuse me. Not only that, but if you know that you're going to be leaving and you have some free time on your hand, just step aside for a minute and let some people go through and wait until it slows down again before you wind up, asking another question or kind of, shooting the crap with somebody. Just always be aware that this isn't your playground, that this is a working business as well, and you really don't want to, piss off the staff or other customers, because that's going to look bad on us or the employer or the employee, that they are taking the time to talk to you versus help somebody else who might really need it. So just keep that in mind and try and, read the room and be respectful to anybody and everybody that's in your surroundings. So we all have our favorite cigar lounges. We all have places that we enjoy going, whether it be they always have the best movies on or they always have the best stock. One thing you don't want to do is be the shop's unofficial consultant. And the reason I say that is because a lot of times people will go in and not just complain, but really voice their opinion about things. And instead of saying like, hey, if you feel this way about, the smoking lounge or whatever the case may be, why don't you take it up with the manager and see if there's something that they can do to try and help you out, whether it be, taking the remote away from somebody who only watches what they want to watch, or let's see if we can try and bring in that stock or this, that, or the other thing when it comes to cigars. Don't just give your opinion about the smoking lounge and make it sound like this is how we all feel about things. Just suck it up and deal with it. Or, hey, you know what, if you complain so much, why don't you go find your own cigar lounge or a different cigar lounge? Because that's just negative press that the cigar lounge doesn't need. If you overhear somebody really kind of complaining about the cigar lounge, either let an employee know and say, hey, look, this guy's really upset. I don't know if there's something you can do to help him out. Or direct them to somebody who might be able to help them out and say to them, hey, I overheard that you're kind of upset. Maybe you should talk to the owner and see if there's a problem that we could probably help solve with you. Even though you don't work there, you can still do those little things to try and help things out, but don't give your unbiased or biased opinion because you love it there. Don't just make them feel as though their complaint doesn't mean anything and that this is just the way it is, so you have to either love it or leave it. Because that just gives bad press to the lounge itself. So definitely make sure that you pass on or give that responsibility to somebody who works there to maybe see if we can try and help that person out. Could have been a misunderstanding, or it could have been just something that could be corrected really easily, and now everybody can have a good time again. So just keep that in mind, okay? So our second to last point, to me, is an important one. So a lot of cigar lounges allow you to either bring your own bottle, or some even have their own bar. One thing that I find really important is watch your drinking. We all have our niches in life, whether it be, drinking too much and you turn into a happy guy or girl, or if you drink too much and you get kind of angry, whether it's a guy or a girl. Watch your drinking and make sure that how you are responding to things isn't affecting somebody else's time. We all go to a cigar lounge to have a good time, and we all know that time goes on and you finally stand up after having a couple and it goes right to your head. But make sure at that point in time that maybe you could try and cut yourself off, so that way you don't affect the rest of the people in that cigar lounge. That's how, disagreements start. That's how different, opinions get thrown around, and then somebody gets mad because somebody's opinion didn't get taken seriously, or somebody got told that their opinion is invalid. Drinking in pairs. So just make sure that you keep it clean. Not saying don't drink. I mean, I'm having a little wine right now myself, but make sure you wind up keeping yourself really, really on the up and up, so that way you don't get so impaired that you wind up upsetting or offending somebody within that cigar lounge. I think that that's really important, especially for you and or the other customers in there, because you don't want to either be thrown out or banned from going there because of a stupid incident like alcohol. So just keep that in mind as well. Not saying that you need to listen to me for that one, but these are just some helpful points and tips that I've seen over the years that could really help you out. So just keep that in mind, as I've been saying multiple times. So my last tip or cigar lounge etiquette is have fun. I know that it's a little cliche, but just keep it in mind. We're all here to have fun, whether it be to go in and try a new cigar that just came out. You're at an event at the cigar lounge and you're meeting new people, you're talking to people. Don't come in with a bad attitude thinking that it's going to be packed, that it's going to, it's not going to be very well, all the good cigars are going to get picked, you're not going to win the prize, whatever the case may be. Go in with just the enjoyment of you're getting together with people and you're enjoying a really nice cigar for the evening before you either go back to work the next day, or you go back home and deal with whatever's going on there. Leave it all at the door, come in and have a good time, and just get whatever you need off your chest and out with your smoke. Cigars are a really nice way to kind of kick back, relax, and take a look at life. I wind up using a lot of my cigars whenever I have a bad day at work or just a lot on my mind. I use my cigars to kind of meditate and talk to God and just kind of give myself an opportunity to step back from the world and be able to, just enjoy life's simple pleasures and thank the Lord for another day on this earth. So, keep that in mind, just for the sheer fact of, these days are going to get better. That's why I'm putting out this video right now, because the cigar lounges are going to get back to full capacity at some time. There might already be open now, might be at half capacity, they might be at full capacity and nobody knows about it yet. But go in with a good attitude and just have a good time. Let all of that stay at the door and come in, either make a new friend, learn something new, and just have a really nice time with enjoying a great cigar, whatever cigar you enjoy, or a new one that you just found out that is your new favorite. So just always have a good time and stay with an open mind and take these tips and tricks with you, and hopefully you'll have a good time as well. Well, I hope that these tips and tricks for cigar lounge etiquette either helped. I hope that nobody got offended by this video, because this wasn't intended to be at anybody specifically. I just wanted to try and get something out there for all of us that have either been to a cigar lounge, either work at a cigar lounge, wherever the case may be. I just wanted to try and put something out to kind of give everybody a little bit of an understanding of these are some things that you might not realize that you're doing or you see are being done, and how to try and get yourself out of a bad situation that maybe you have gotten yourself into by coming off too aggressive or, something to that effect. This was by no means to insult anybody or to say like, hey, look, you are doing this all the time. Stop. This is for X, Y, or Z. This was just something to kind of help us all out, because there's been times where I've done some of these things just trying to be helpful, and I realized that I was putting myself in a really bad situation. So this was something that I was able to reflect back on as well. So I hope that everybody took something from this, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a share if you want. If not, that's fine too. And if you have any other etiquettes that you find annoying that you would like somebody to realize about, leave a comment down low and just, be polite about it, but leave a comment and say, hey, by the way, also try and do this because I had this bad experience. Let me know what experience you guys had, and maybe we can try and add on to this another cigar lounge etiquette part 2. So, but with that being said, everybody, I'm Sean from the smoking section. Hope everybody is having a great holiday week up to the new year. Yes, We're almost out of 2020. 2021 is going to be a good year. I can just feel it. So, as always, please stay blessed, stay smoking, and I will catch you guys on the next one. From the smoking section, I'm Sean, signing off. Have a good day, everybody.